Hi, everybody. This is Virginia Milner coming to you for the DeKalb County Library System. And I wanted to do a piece. This is more of a design piece. Wanted to do something asymmetrical and do a statement necklace using some link technique that we've used before with a little bit of variation. Those who recognize the technique can just go on and do the design piece. But for those of you who don't, I'm going to show you how to make these links and then how to put them together into an asymmetrical necklace. So we'll be making a chain with some really interesting beads and some interesting links that we'll be putting it together into a statement necklace, or what I'm calling a statement necklace. So you'll need your usual tools, round nose pliers. The barrels are round all the way around. Square nose pliers. Barrels are slightly rounded on the outside, but flat on the inside. And if you buy them in the store or order them online, make sure that the inside of it doesn't have those grips or ridges. Otherwise, it can do damage to your wire. You'll need a pair of cutters. These are flesh cutters, but any wire cutters, jewelry wire cutters will be fine. You'll need I'm using two sizes of cylindrical items to make loops. You can make all of your loops the same size if you want. This is just the way I'm doing it. So I'm using a Sharpie and then a pen. This is actually a pen, it's broken. So I use it to take my loops. And this gives me the two sizes of loop that I want. The reason that I say you've seen this before is because we just did it in a bracelet. And we did 3 sizes of loops. You might want to go back and check that out, and then you'll know how to do them. But if you want a refresher, or if you haven't done this before, this will be a good chance to learn how to do it. Okay, what else? We'll need 20 gauge wire and a selection of beads. I'm using some, you don't need a particular kind of bead, but I thought this would be a good way to use some, maybe some odd beads. Maybe you have one large bead that you wanted to make into a pendant, but you wanted to do something a little different with it. This will be good for that, and then a couple of coordinating beads to go on the side, and then the rest of your chain you can use whatever type of beads that you want. I'm using 4mm rounds, 6mm rounds, and I'm using these kind of diamond shaped stone beads and a large stone bead. And I'll tell you a secret, I broke it. You can even see a little chip in it, and I super glued it back together. Don't tell anybody, I hate gluing things. But anyway, I just didn't want to lose it, so that's what I did. And what else? That's it. The 20 gauge wire. I've got 3 sizes of beads. You can use whatever size beads you want. This chain is very versatile, so you can make it what you want it to be. And that's it. So let's go ahead and get down here to the mat and get started. Okay, first things first, let's go ahead and make our link. And the one that I'm going to make, well, I'm going to show you what I've done so far. So here is the chain that I'm making. And I'm making these double, I'm calling them split ring links. So they're just double wrapped, or double coiled, I guess I should say. Clear, there we go. It's a double coil and then a loop that you use to link to the other bead. And I just added some beads to mine. I've seen this done without beads, but I just wanted something a little bit different. And when I decided to adapt it into this statement piece, I thought that would really be neat. So this is my chain. I just used the large Sharpie to make these links and put 2 beads on it, a 4mm and a 6mm, then made my loop to attach it to the rest. Now this is one whole side. On the other side, I'm going to put flatten out there. I'm going to put the other bead. So this is going to look like that on one side, and the other side is going to have these other beads. Just something a little bit different. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you how to do these links. All right, so what I'm going to do is grab my little pen, and for the smaller loop, I need 3.5 inches of wire. And that's going to look like this. Because I'm just going to make a smaller loop than I did on the other side, and then I'm going to put one bead on. So I need 3.5 inches of wire. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my cylindrical item, whatever it is you decide to use, and I'm going to wrap the wire. You can go right here to the center. I go to the corner and give myself about 1 inch of wire to hold on to, and then I wrap the longer wire around my cylindrical item. Now you can do that. I'm going to wrap it around twice, or you can turn the cylindrical item to get the wrap. Whatever works better for you is fine. There's no wrong answer here. Okay. Now I use 3.5 for this one because I'm only putting one bead on it. Now for these bigger ones, with the bigger Sharpie, I use 4.5 because I'm making a bigger ring, and I use 2 beads. Now you're going to need to determine how much you need, and it depends on the size Sharpie or pen that you use. So I can't give you an exact measurement. You're going to have to figure that one out for yourself. And the way that I would suggest that you do that is cut a foot of wire, do your wrap, cut it off, and then remeasure what's left of your wire. Do the math there, and that'll tell you how much you use for your piece. Okay, so once I have this wrapped around twice, I've got 2 wraps there. Where it's crossing over, it looks like 3, but it's still actually 2. And then I'm going to, where it's crossed over, I'm going to bend the long wire straight up. Oh, I overbent. That's okay. Just want it straight up like that. So that's what I have. I have a little bit of a kink in it, so I'm going to straighten that out. Boom. Here we go. And then I'm going to wrap the short tail around the long tail one time. Now, the short tail is extended from here, so I need to hold on to this so it doesn't pull and mess up my loop. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that, and then wrap this short wire around the long wire. Just take it nice and easy and slow. And this is a short tail, which is another good reason to just leave it all in one long piece of wire, because you don't have to fight with it as much. You would have a nice long piece of wire that you could work with. Wrap that around. When it gets too short to use my fingers, I just go to my pliers, make sure that's nice and low on my little pen here. And I only need to wrap it around one time. Okay. Once I get my little wrap, I don't know why I'm losing my voice. Again, I think it might be this. It happens every time I go to do a tutorial. I don't know why. Okay, so once I little wrap all the way around one time, I'm going to cut that little end off. Cut that off. Too short for me to hold on to. I don't like putting my finger there because I'm always afraid that the wire will just go right through my finger. So I just cut it right down into my little spool so it doesn't go flying into my finger or across the room. I really hate chasing these things down. So once I have my little wrap and I've got it cut off, now I'm going to just squeeze that tip down against my wire. Here we go. And there's my little double wrap. I can make adjustments. I can see this is leaning over a little bit, so I'm going to fix that until it looks the way I want it. And you may want yours to lean a little bit because it gives it a little more of a 3D look, which can be interesting. But there is my nicely wrapped split ring. Now I'm going to put my bead on, just slide that on, and I'm going to make a loop. And all I need to do, I just need 1/2 inch of wire here. So I'm going to bend that back. My loop's going right to left. And I'm going to bend my wire back so that this is what I have now. Okay, I'm going to cut that down to about 1/2 inch. It just needs to be enough to hook over another double ring. So 1/2 inch I've found works very nicely. Cut that down to 1/2 inch. And let's make a loop. Grab my round nose pliers. I'm going to slide my wire down about 1/4 of the way down my pliers. All pliers aren't created equal, so my 1/4 may be a little bit different from yours. Again, I just want it big enough to link over those 2 rings. I'm going to make sure that the tip is not sticking out of the back of my pliers. Then I'm going to give it one small turn, open my pliers up, reposition them back, make another turn. And I see people just make one long turn, but that doesn't, well, I mean, it works, but it may not make it look the way you want. I've found that if I do it in small turns, I get a nice, pretty circle. And there is my split ring link. And now I just need to link it to my other link. And to do that, all I need to do is open that up. And you open it just like you open a jump ring. I don't pull it apart. I flip it up or to the side. And then slide on my loop. Slide that double loop inside the open loop. And close it back up. And there we go. So that's the way we do that one. Now I'm going to show you how to do these. And it's the same thing. It's just a different, the beads look different. So what I'm going to do is have to figure out how much I need. And this is a big bead. And I want to do that double wrap on the other side. So again, I would suggest just cut yourself about 1 foot of wire and do it that way and then cut off what you need, because I don't know what size your beads are going to be. So you're going to have a little bit of waste because there's no specific measurement that I can give you. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and cut about 1 foot of wire. So that's enough so that I don't need to waste too much. Or that I can cut off a big enough piece that I can use it for something else. That's always a good thing. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and make my loop. So give myself my inch of wire, wrap the long tail around the cylindrical item. I want to keep them nice, the wrap close together, and then wrap it one more time. Again, you can turn this, or you can wrap the tail, or you can turn the cylindrical item, whichever works better. I'm going to do it this way because I think you can see easier what I'm doing. There we go. There's that little tail. And make sure it crosses over. Where it crosses over, just give yourself a 1/2 inch of wire, because that's all you need to make your little loop. And then when I have what I need in my wrap, or my 2 wraps, looks like 3 on this side, it's fine. And then all I need to do, make sure I have that 1/2 inch and bend that long tail up. Take it off my little cylindrical item. And prepare to wrap. Straighten that out. And let's wrap this short tail around the long tail. I'm going to hold on to my wires so that they don't shift and reshape my circle. And I'm going to wrap that short tail around the long. I'm talking you through it because I know my fingers are in the way. I'm hoping that my telling you what I'm doing makes up for the fact that you may not be able to see what I'm doing. That's very short. I'm going to bring it around with her. Round. Squeeze that. There we go. And cut off that little tip. Now, I have way too much wire, I can tell. But hopefully I have enough that I can use it. What's left for something else. We cut that little tip off. Push down that little end. Get down there. I usually come at it from behind. I tried to do it from the front. I should have known better. That's not the way I do it. Here we go. Let's slide my bead on this very long piece of wire. Keep the kinks out. This stone doesn't like kinks. And I'm not. Let's go the other way. Hope for the best. And get it enough down there that I can go ahead and pull it through that. Oh my goodness. All right, so there's the one side. Now all I need to do is make my little loop. So again, I'm going to bend my wire like so. I'm going to cut it down to about 1/2 inch. Okay, and make my loop. There we go. Get it nicely closed. And there we are. Go ahead and make any adjustments to my loop that I need to make. Nice. Very nice. This little guy is hopped up, so let's straighten it out. Here we go. There's my link. Okay. That's going to be attached to the, well, we'll put that together in a minute. I want to show you how to do this great big one. Same thing, exactly the same. All right, I'm going to cut this little crinkled end off. Here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap. Again, make my little loop. I'm just going to wrap it all the way. Last time I twisted. This time I'm wrapping. There we go. Bend that long tail up, like so. Take that off. Nicely close together. And wrap the short tail around the long tail. One time. Very short. There we go. And clip off that little end. I do like not having a lot of waste. That makes me very happy. Oh. Control that little tip, just push it down. There we go. A little bit more. And make any adjustments to my lip that I need to make. Go. Nice. My bead. My glue bead. Oh, I hope the bead get down. In the bead, that would just be awful. Oh no. I think I have glue in my bead. I do. Oh my goodness. Right, because it's right there. There's where the crack is. Yeah. There's glue in there. Oh, I'm gonna lose my bead. I hate it. Yeah. All right, I have to go get another one. I shall return. Okay, I got another one. This one's got a lot more black in it. What can I say? Stones is a mind of their own. Am I on my way? All right. Thread my bead on. Which one do I want in front? I don't think it matters. Pretty on both sides. Okay. So I'm going to make my loop. Ooh, there's a little bit of red in there. Oh, can you see that? That's awesome. There's like a, oh, beautiful. Okay, anyway. My wire back. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get distracted. And my wire back. Cut it down to a half an inch. I'm just eyeballing it. Okay. Ooh, I have enough that I can do something with this because that's at least 3 inches. Yay. And make my loop. Again, make sure nothing's sticking out of the back so I can make it nice and as round as possible. So I don't want that tip to stick out. Otherwise, it'll come out as a teardrop shape instead. Okay. Okay, start my loop, open, reposition, turn a little more, open, reposition, and turn until it is blue. Here we go. Nice. Little bit of wiggle there, but that's okay. It's not too bad. I think I'm going to cut it down. If you have a little bit of a neck like I have here, I don't see that little neck there, and I don't want a neck. I want it to be right against the bead. So I'm going to cut off a little bit of my ring right here at the tip, just on the inside, right there at the tip. I'm going to cut some of that off and reclose it. And that will take care of that little neck part. Close that back up. There we go. No more neck. There. And now all I need to do is attach it. So here is what I have. Here's my chain. Right now here. So, Virginia, humble finger. Very good. There. Good. Great. So this is one side of my tape. Here we can see the whole thing. So this is one side. And this is going to be the other side. So we have a nice asymmetrical neck. Put it together. All right. And I'm making mine, it's going to be about 19 inches, 19, 20 inches. I'm making it the traditional length because I don't want it to hang too low. I want to make sure that the side piece is visible, very visible, and doesn't get lost in the shuffle. So again, I opened my little loop to the side, slide the closed ring in the open ring, close it back up. I'm going to bring this. Close the ring back up. Okay. Grab my next one. And this is my design. You do not have to put yours together the exact same way that I'm. This is just the design that I chose. I wanted a plain chain, well, kind of a less ornate chain on one side, and then I wanted the other side to be the focus. Now, if you want, you can always just put this on the bottom and just make a traditional necklace, but I really wanted something a little bit different. I don't know if you can see, but really there is a red thread going through the stone that is so beautiful and was not visible on the other ones I had. So I'm kind of glad I had to change it out. And then I'm going to add this to make the length the same on both sides. So I've got these three that I did in the beginning. And this is my necklace. Oh, isn't that neat? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is add this to the big bead, or the bit larger bead, just like I did the other. Get that on. Okay. All right. I have one more too because I said I was going to make sure it was good 19, 20 inches. So I'm going to add that one on. You know, because on the other side, I'm going to make a clasp. And I'm going to make a clasp just like I did this one. Because you know me and my beaded clasp. I love them. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to do that. I don't think this is enough, darn it. I wish it was, but it isn't. Okay, so for that, I'm again going to need 4.5 inches. Let me measure this. See, about 3.5. We may need 4.5 inches of wire. Four and a half inches. Okay. Make my little loop. Actually, I'm making the big loop with the Sharpie. Okay. Get around there. Yeah. Right. Make my wrap. Need that a little short. Move that over a bit. Here we go. Make my little wrap. I keep saying 1/2 inch, and then I end up cutting off little snippets. And try not to do that. So I made this horribly short. Which makes it a challenge. I don't recommend it. Just know that you're going to cut off a little bit. It's not that wasteful. You'll survive it. You make my adjustments. And put my beads on. I put them on exactly the way I put them on here, with the large bead first, small bead second, and make my loop on the other end. Back. Ooh, and I have just 7 inches. Perfect. And make my little loop. Small turn, second small turn, third small turn. Nice little loop. Here we go. Yay. And all I need to do is attach that on this side. You know, that's not correct. I was supposed to be making a class. Oh, Virginia. All right, so let's do that again. Well, now you saw how to make these. Yay. Well, that's a nice enough save. We'll just pretend like I did that on purpose. Okay, so we're actually making a class. And for that, I need an additional inch. Okay, so I need 5.5. No, wait a minute, 4.5. Yes, I need 5.5 inches of wire. Okay. Grab my little cylindrical item. make my wrap that around. One. And I can't stress enough to make sure that you hold this in place so that your circle turns out to be a circle and not a pear shape. So you want to make sure you're holding it against the cylindrical item that you're using and giving it a nice tight wrap. That's why I said it might be easier to rotate the cylindrical item than to try to wrap it around, especially if you only have a short piece of wire. All right, there we go. Bend my wire up. Wrap that short tail around the long tail. Very nice. Just one time around. Cut that end off. Get out of the way. Push down that little tip. Okay, let's put my beads on. Big one first. My second one, my little one. And let's make our hook. So for that, what I want to do is go right here in about the center of my wire. Give yourself an extra, half an inch on this side. Whatever your measurement is, I've got about 2 inches. So I'm going to bend it at about about 1/4 of an inch is all you need, because we're just going to make a little wrap down here. I'm going to bend that to the side. My loop's going side to side. I'm going to bend this also to the side, like so, just like that. Squeeze those ends together as much as I can with my fingers, and when I can't do it with my fingers, grab my square pliers and squeeze that tip until both sides are close together, not overlapping, just side by side. Close together as I can. There we go. Then I'm going to go down here, right above the bead, and I'm going to bend that wire. About 1/2 inch is what I need in order to do the wrap that I need to do on the bottom. So I'm going to go right up here, about 1/4 of an inch away from the bead. You don't have to measure that. 1/16 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to bend that wire straight up like that. So this is what I have now. And straight up. And then I'm going to grab my square pliers, hold on to both of those wires, nice and close together, side by side. I find it's easier to scoot the wire down toward the back because you have a better grip back there without having to give it a too strong a grip, because you might have coated wire, in which case it would scratch the coating off your wire. Then I want to wrap that short tail around the long tail. It's very short, and you have a lot more going on here, so it might be easier to use the second pair of pliers to do that. I'm using my round one. Just wrap that around until I can't wrap it anymore. Then push the rest of it down. There we go. And so now what I want to do, make sure that my hand controlled down there. There we go. And now I'm going to make my hook. Yes. So what I'm going to do is bend my wire up, straight up. This is going side to side. I'm going to bend it towards the back, just like that. Then I'm going to go down here to the tip with my round nose pliers or your square nose pliers, either one. And just right there at that tip, I'm going to give it a little tweak. Just tweak it back just a little bit, just like that. So now this is what I have. Then I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm right under where I just put that little ledge. I'm going to slide back to almost the back of my pliers. And I'm going to start to make my shepherd's hook. So I'm going to give it a turn, just a third of a turn, then reposition, and turn again, reposition, and turn again. And I'm going to do that until I have a shepherd's hook. Get that little straightened out. There we go. And then adjust it so that it looks the way you want it. There's my little shepherd's hook. There we go. And it's going to attach to the side with the large ring that looks like this. I'm going to go ahead and open up that last ring on my chain. Attach it to the double split ring. Close it back up, just like we did all of the others. And I have a necklace. Get it all together here. And there it is. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the form so that you can see what it looks like. Ooh, I like it. Let me get a form. There it is. There's my piece. Straighten down. There it is. I just love this. That is so neat. Now, you can move this up or down. It depends on where you want everything to sit. That's the glory of having something that's asymmetrical. You can do that. And because we have a beaded clasp, if you wanted to, you could just move this back around so that the centerpiece is actually at the bottom if you would prefer. So you would just have two different size chains, small on one side and large on the other side. You can put your focus at the bottom, or you can go ahead with the focal piece being on one side or the other. Very versatile. It depends on how you want to wear it. You can't see. There we go. So it depends on how you would like to wear your piece and what kind of beads you use. You can add more beads on the side if you want to. Entirely up to you. But that is our piece for the day. I really like it. I usually don't do anything but with yellow, but this is, I'm trying to think of the stone that I'm using here. Oh, I can't think. Anyway, it's so different. I usually go for reds and burgundies and bright blues and things like that. And this yellow just kind of popped. And I thought, I've never done that, so I think it'll look really great on camera for everybody to see something different. And oh, I really like it. In fact, I should put it on with what I'm wearing. Going to the Atlanta Botanical Gardens in a few minutes. What time is it? Oh, I think so. Anyway, so that is our piece for the day. I hope you enjoyed this, and I really hope that you'll make one of these. And please show me what you make, because I love to see it. You can get in contact with me at jewelrygen20@gmail.com. That's jewelrygin20@gmail.com. You can leave pictures and comments on the DeKalb County Library Facebook page. That's facebook.com/DeKalb Library. That's DeKalblibrary. Or you can leave comments on the DeKalb County Library YouTube page, which is youtube.com/DeKalb Library. I want to hear from you one way or the other. If you didn't like this, let me know. If something was off with the tutorial, let me know. That's how I get better, hopefully. And hopefully you'll come back. So until next time, have a great week, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.